killing into these guys at the end of the day. These people at the end of the day are robbers, they're thieves, they steal, and they do nothing but lie. And we're busting them today. We're busting. We're coming down hard on the day. So anyway, we already busted Crow 1176. This juror got caught with freaking Google images on his site trying to claim that that was his screen paint. You got 2 sets of those on there. And again, like I said, house paint products and all this nonsense. But we're going to talk about Partay today. Partay made this video about Kenneth is a liar. All right, so let's go look through this. Let's see if I'm a liar or not. All right, so this is Partay's website right here. As I told you before, we saw that whole crazy application. It's an absolutely insane. Multiple coats. Paint doesn't come down. It doesn't paint correctly. It's spotty. It's matty. It's nasty. I'm going to show you why you need to stay from this. We don't have to worry about it. This website's never open anyway, so you can't buy anything if you wanted to, but it's never open. But let's go down here and let's check out the application process. So basically, this individual made a statement that Kenneth lies, right? And in this, he's saying that he never said that his product comes in 4 containers, which he didn't say that, but it has to come in 4 containers. He doesn't have a choice. It will come in 4 containers. And he says that it doesn't come in 4 colors, and it's not a house paint and doesn't contain Vaseline. Let's see if he's right on that. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to come up here. This is the actual video that he did showing the application. This is the whole application process right here of his products, all the information, how to paint the screen in. This is the first video he did, basically showing his customers how they're going to apply his screen paint products. Let's count how many coats we got here. Now, what he says in his video, he says that it's going to be, hold on a minute, it's going to be 1 coat. It's going to be 1 coat of the Vega or whatever it is. You're going to apply it down 4 times. That, again, that's really stupid. You're going to be doing 4 coats of the same screen paint over and over and over again. Why are you doing that? It ain't like you got to put a primer, paint, and sealer. That's not it. It's 4 coats of the exact same color. That doesn't make any sense at all. That's downright stupid. All right, so anyway, let's go over here real quick, and let's check this out.
Folks, Dan here at Partay. So tonight I have Miss Kelly with me. She's going to be painting a screen for us. So I have a few things I want to talk about first, specifically about the surface, and then we'll talk about the actual.
Let's get the surface. Right? We don't need about that.
See, your first roll is going to be the ugliest paint job you've ever done, probably in your life. So don't worry about it. That's good. That's fine. You'll see as we go through this that this is not about being a master. This formula has been designed to make it very easy for you to do, where you pretty much have to try to screw it up, maybe just take and do some finger painting in there. I can't guarantee against that, but this should be fairly easy. All right, so first things you want to remember is when you open up the product, you want to stir it very well, okay? And what you want to do is you want to make sure you stir the bottom on the does when we mix it. The water will kind of divots in this, and you pan. The thing is.
So this is the first coat. You got to see go on, right? Look at the color of it.
There you go. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Now you can actually take your brush and brush that up the side if that happens, where you have a little roll in the container. Here you go. Nice.
Now, mind, they were supposed to stir it. It's supposed to be stirred between each application.
To cover the surface. You're not trying to get a pretty roll, like you're rolling a wall in your house or something. You just want to, first of all, what you want to do is try to get your
now you see how the paint is smearing right here? This is oil in the paint. It's smearing. We had the same problem when we made this product. It has oil in it. So we know that for a fact. That's why it's smearing like that, because it's not taking it all, period. Something's not causing the paint to basically marry to the surface. So he basically says that he wants you to cover the screen saturated in. If you're doing 4 coats of the same screen paint, why do you have to do 1 coat and let that dry, do another coat and let that dry? That doesn't make any sense.
With the material, rolling it back and forth, you want to saturate your roller with the material.
Like this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, the only time we require you to basically do 2 applications like that, unless you come across a fixed frame screen that has a kind of protective surface to it, the surface will basically cause the paint to have these little white spots that cause the surface to bleed through. We always put down a light coat and then hit it heavy and you're done. but nothing like this.
Well, I have not done this. So,
But now you want to start rolling it like
So now you're seeing this is one coat. This is one coat right here.
clearly I'm not a painter.
All right, now after the one coat,
all right.
it's pretty messy.
And you see how the weight of the roller roll it, and you just roll up.
Now you see that's
Don't
one coat,
take your,
right?
Roller and put it about halfway on the line you just made.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is the second coat. Look at the color. It's completely different paint. Different paint.
Very nice.
Different paint. So now we got two
And she's
different
just
colors.
repeat the same thing that happened last time. You just
Two
try to
different
move this
colors.
Around, get your roller getting wet, just kind of going back and forth across. As if you just go across your panel there, you'll saturate the roller, and then you're just going to try to make
So
sure.
that's two colors. Now let's go right here. Keep on going.
Full screen. So while Kelly's rolling here and getting that done, see, I'm just going to cut you loose on your own.
Good luck with that.
All right, folks, so while Kelly's doing her thing, I'm going to do a little narration here. So what you want to avoid is overworking this. That's the reason I'm being so thorough in the explanation.
Be about that. You can see little specks in there where you can.
Now if you watch it again, there's another coat. Now we counted 3 coats. There's 3 coats of 3 different colors on the screen. He said nothing about different colors. There's 3 coats right there, 3 different colors. You must be colorblind at the end of the day, because that's 3 colors right there. How would you ship those 3 colors? That means you would need 3 containers to ship that. All right. Let's go again over here.
Dry, and then we'll be back. All right, guys, we're back. And
Number
so we're
4.
going for the fourth
4
and final
colors.
coat.
4 and final coat. Right? Look at the paint. That's a different color. So you just displayed 4 different colors painted onto your screen. How are you shipping this? You can't ship this in one big container because, again, like I said, you have cross-contamination. This would have to be shipped in 4 containers. And since your containers are 48, that's what you're going to have to ship over because you don't have 32s. Now, what you're claiming in your demonstration when you're saying I spread a bunch of lies, you're saying that you never said containers. No, you didn't say containers. But anybody with any common sense would know at the end of the day, if you're going to ship 4 different colors of paint, they're going to have to be in 4 containers. That's just basic common sense. But you're saying that now you changed it and you're saying that we ship out the Vega, and the Vega basically is a product that you're going to paint down 4 times. Why would anybody in their right mind paint down 4 of the same color over and over and over again, 4 times? Unless the paint's very thin, cheap, and it doesn't take well. It's the only reason why you would have to paint it down 4 times in a row. That's it. So basically, your theory here, you completely skipped it. Mind you, your instructions and all that fall on this video right here. Not on the one you just did, this one right here. You can't delete this video because this is where your instructions fall at. Everything you said in your specifications fall on this demonstration right here. This is where you messed up. So if you're telling people, okay, the Vega, I never said that. The Vega, you painted 4 times. Again, why am I painting the screen 4 times the same color? Are you going to tell them, okay, you're going to paint the first application because you're just trying to get the screen wet? Do you know how dumb that sounds at the end of the day? So I'm just painting the screen the first time just to get it wet, but I'm going to paint it again, and then again, and again, with the same exact color? If I wanted to get it wet, I just paint the screen in 1 time and be done, and that's it. That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. No, that's him trying to come back on this by saying he never said that. All right, let's go over here to your video right here you have down here. You said you never said 4 containers, right? Even if you didn't say 4 containers, how are you going to ship out a paint that has 4 colors? Over top, we saw 4 colors. Did you just skip that altogether? That doesn't exist. So this video up here doesn't even exist because you said you never said 4 colors. Let's go back here. All right, right here.
Promise to cover the lies, and I say that specifically, the lies that Crystal Edge Technology Screens has actually.
See how much
put
water
out
is in that paint?
about
That's a lot of
Partay's
water.
Products and the application process. So I'll cover them off just in little bits here, but you can see this is 1 container. that I'm making here. Doesn't matter which mixture it is. If I remember correctly, I was using Vega Plus here. But really doesn't matter because it's one container. It'll be 148-ounce container.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna double copy of the one you got over top. In this one, I'm gonna put them side by side on the blacklist. And you explain to people at the end of the day how you're sitting there saying that we're lying by you didn't say 4 colors, but we just watch you literally painting 4 different colors on the screen up there. You explain to people at the end of the day how you're going to ship out a product that has 4 colors in one container. You're an idiot.
Of one product. You don't get 4 different containers. You don't get 4 48s, which is what he's told you out there, that you'll get 4 different containers. You'll do 1 coating from each container, and each one of those is a little bit different from the other. That's a complete.
Did you? It's just literally, this is how stupid this guy is. This is how dumb he is. Do you watch your demonstrations at the end of the day? Do you? Do you have amnesia? You have something going on? You don't remember stuff? Did you not just watch your own demonstration? That's 2 colors displayed right there. You just did a 4-coat application with 4 different colors. And then you're going to say down here that it doesn't contain any colors, no different colors. Then what the freak is this? That's 2 right there. What are you talking about? So how are you shipping this at the end of the day if it doesn't involve 4 containers? What are you talking about here? You're just, that this video is a complete lie. This is all a lie right here. Based on your instructions, this is all a lie right here, right? All this a lie? You wrote in here? This is all bogus, this is all fake? Because you have it right in here. So where are you telling the truth at? Is this a lie? Is all that based on a lie? And what's going on with this? And then what's going on here?
Complete damn lie. It's 1 48-ounce container of whichever product you choose, and you're going to do 4 applications, 4 coats, right? So you can see that I'm stirring the material here. I'm going to pour it on and paint it.
Now, if you're saying it's 4 different paints, why didn't you basically call out each paint that you were applying to the surface as you were painting it in? All right, we got to be stupid at the end of the day. Who in the right mind is going to call out, all right, this is going to be Vega 1, this is going to be Vega 2, this is going to be Vega 3, Vega 4. So you're going to say that you painted in 4 different screen paints that you sell individually on your site by themselves, and you made 1 super screen and displayed the screen with all 4 of them applied to it? That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense either. That's like me putting in a complete cinema, a Fusion Gamer, and then a bunch of other screens on top, Alpha 1, and a Sugar Plum Fairy, all in together, and saying, look, I fused into an amazing screen. No, buddy. What you did, what you basically said that made that statement, and now you're trying to back out of it by making this stupid video, but not realizing you still have the video over top of you that shows you doing the dumb act to begin with.
In just a moment. But let's talk first about why would Ken come up with that? Why would he state that? Because that was never stated anywhere.
Now, you see how he poured his paint here? Here, he instructs his wife to pour this in a long strip because it has to be, this is how it has to be applied. He doesn't follow his own instructions. What did you say here, right here? What did you say here? What was this, right here?
Here, the polymers in it screen for us. So I have a few things I want to talk about first, specifically about the surface, and then we'll talk about the actual mix. This surface, it's hard to tell because it's got a sheen to it. I coated it with a white gloss. That's just the only white I have in the house, so I use what I have. But it's got a lot of texture. I just put enough, if you can make it out there, there's little places in it, right? So I just put enough on here to give you an example because I'm going to use this as a little bit of a worst case scenario. So you'll also notice that there's texture on here because of the roller that I used, and this is really thick, gloppy paint. You're used to hearing the whenever people are rolling it, right? So the formula is not going to be like that. You will see how it works. But I just wanted to tell you that if we have a surface that has a good bit of texture on it, and you'll be able to pick up that texture whenever we do our display. And the reason for that is because this formula acts as a skin. It's very thin, but over time,
I'm thinking you put
you
water
will
on.
have some separation there that could occur, and that's going to be because we use a combination of. But I just wanted to tell you that if we have a surface that has a good bit of texture on it, I wouldn't use more in a rolling pan than what you plan to do in one coating. And I'll explain that as we go, okay? So the easiest thing to do is Kelly right now, I've instructed her, she's going to run about a 2-inch wide strip from the center
Great.
of the first one to the center of the third one.
Now you went through all this to show these detailed instructions to turn around and pour that on there. So which one is it? Because you put a chart out there, you wanted the customers to pour this approximately 2 to 3 inch line, but you pour that mess out there. What's that supposed to be? Then technically at the end of the day, you don't need to basically have that chart there showing you that you have to put a line across your screen and you don't have to go through this crappy instruction nonsense at the top. Right here he has it where you have to pour out the screen, you need a 1 point over the, let's go back to a farther in that one. That farther. Now, which one has the measurements for which one? For each screen size. Let me see. Let me see. Do we have this one on the right side for this one? For screen size? Let me see. It'll be a little farther. No, it's got to be a little farther down. Here's a measurement for each one. All right, here we go. For a 90 to a 100 inch, you need 3 1/4, right? You didn't measure that out correctly, did you? For 105 to 120, you're recommending the customers do a 1 cup. 1 cup. For a screen size, if you don't believe me, right here. Right there. For a 105 to 120 inch screen, we recommend you pour 1 cup of the material. For 120 to 150, 1 cup and 1/4, right? Look at that. You said, look at the as shown on the graphic sheet below or over top, whatever. Now you're talking all that, but this is what you're pouring out on your screen. That's a bunch of hogwash. Let's listen to what else he has to say.
Or within any of our videos, not once have we said that you would get 4 containers. We said that you would do 4 applications.
Now you said you wouldn't get 4 containers. That's true. You never said you get 4 containers. But I'm gonna ask you a question. How are you shipping out 4 individual different colors of product without 4 containers? How else are you going to ship it out? You can't ship it in one big container. How are you shipping it out? It has to be 4, dum-dum.
Now, that's not a misconstruence because it was never actually stated. It's just a lie. It's just a smear to try to scare people away from buying a Partay product by using things from a video that were never actually stated and making up his own little story to try to make it sound like it's going to be super complicated and also that the whole thing was a lie. That's not the truth. So no 4 containers, no 4 colors. And as you can see,
He just said no 4 containers, no 4 colors at all, period, right? We just counted 1.
There you go. Just keep going. There you go.
2. That's 2 colors right there. 3. That's 3 colors right there. They're not matching anyway. And
We'll put it in front of the fan there, let it dry in the back. And so we're going
4.
for the 4th and final coat.
4 colors. But you just said in your video right here, you said you didn't say anything about 4 colors. And we're looking at 4 colors in the video over top. So what are you talking about? And again, magic question of the day. How are you shipping this out to customers if it doesn't require 448 containers. It says right here, when you go look at your products, it says that you have your containers in what size? "48 containers." That's the size of your containers, are 48. So if that's 4 different colors, then you have to ship out 448 containers, dum-dum. That's how stupid you are at the end of the day. Did you say that you could paint a 150-inch screen? You have up to, you said covers up to 120-inch screen. But you have in your instructions over there that you're going to paint a 150-inch screen. Why would you add a 150-inch screen if you're telling customers it paints up to a 120-inch screen? Where would a 150-inch screen come from? Now I'm going to dig into you. Now I'm going to embarrass you pretty bad. Don't ever call me a liar at the end of the day. This is going to be rough for you, my man. This is going to get real rough. I'm going to dig into everything you have over here. Why do you have on your page claiming that you could do a 150-inch screen and you say covers up to 120? That means it only does up to 120, no more, no less. Then you have it at 48 containers. So how in the world are you showing a demonstration of a screen that's being painted in 4 times with 4 different colors? That means it's going to take 4 of these 48 containers to put in each one of those applications for a 120-inch screen, which means the customer is going to paint that screen in how many times? So if I only have 120, you're going to have more paint than that on a 120-inch screen. You don't say anything about 150 here or anything larger. So where is this coming from? You don't even have it as 100. You don't have 100 to 150. That's what you should have put down here. But you put up to 120. You don't even know what you're doing at the end of the day. What's the color? Mid-gray. How can it be mid-gray if in your demonstration I just saw 4 different versions of gray? So how is it mid-gray? Does it change to the color of mid-gray? Is the last application mid-gray? What the freak are you talking about in this demonstration? What are you talking about? You don't even know. Stupid. That's what I'm saying. In here talking dumb nonsense. At the end of the day, I got to come in here and embarrass you like this. Let's go grab another one. Let's see what you got in this one over here. Because I ordered all these. These are the ones I ordered. You gave my money back because you were too afraid to ship it out. Don't pull your site down. We're on it. What do you got over here? Another one. What does it say? 48 ounces. What does it say? Cover up to 120-inch screen. Huh? Let's see what we got going on in here. Right here. Dun, dun, dun. What's he got going on here? What's this saying here? Right here. Dun, dun, dun. This is a roll-on or spray-on application. How are you spraying this on if you're requiring the customer to pour this thin line in the middle of the screen? You even made a chart for it. You made a chart on how you have to pour it down, how it has to be around 2 to 3 inches, and all that other nonsense. So how in the world are you spraying that on to begin with if it has to be basically poured into this thin line across your screen? Bull crap. What else we got here that doesn't make any sense? What the heck is this? Approximate gain. 1.95 to 1.0. There is no such thing as it. It could be an 0.8 or a 0.9. It's either one or the other. That's stupid. Okay, what else we got here? Right here. From the base and application. Let's see what we have here. Slight brighter. White level. Lux rating. Stuff like that. That's pretty much what you have here. On here. That's it. So this doesn't make any sense altogether. You said 48, but you got an instruction video showing people 3 different colors that you apply there. And you're saying it covers up to 120 inch. Do you know how much paint is in a 48 ounce container? Now I can see if it was 32, yeah, that sounds about right, 120 inch screen. But you're talking about 48, only 120? That tells me at the end of the day that your screen paint is very dense and thick if it takes up to 48 ounces to paint a 120-inch screen. Now, you just said in your product over there, you said that the Vega Basically, one container, you have to apply that on 4 times. Let's see if we see any instructions anywhere where it says that you're going to apply the screen on 4 times like you said. Let's see anything here. Let's see, I don't see nothing in here, but see right here, that's the lux rating. Let's see, section ambient light. Okay, works with ambient light, works with how to do ambient light. Right here, anything here that we're finding that you just said in that demonstration that you have to put 4 coats in. All right, right here. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see right here. Instruction application step video provided on the website. That would be the one you just shown, putting in 4 different coats. I don't see anything here that says that you said that you put 4 coat applications for one product. You don't know what you're doing. You got stuff all over the map here. So what we got here, people, is this fellow sits here and he's just lying on his website. We just busted him in 3 different lies. Once he said he didn't basically ever state that the product came in different colors. We watched the video demonstration with 3 different colors on the screen. He said it never came in 4 containers. That he did say, but it has to come in 4 containers because how are you going to ship the paint? It's 4 different colors. Then he says here, come out of here, he says right here, it covers up to 120 inch. When you say up to, that means that's as high as you can go is up to 120. But if we go over here on his site where he has an applications, and you will see right here in his applications, let's see, is it below this right here? Here it is right here. Over here he has, I gotta dig into you, buddy. I'm gonna dig into you. That's why I learn to keep your mouth shut next time. Let's see, 90 to 100. It doesn't mention anything about a 100 screen. 3/4 of a cup across the screen as shown in the graphic chart up below for each coat. For each coat, right? Right here he says 105 to 120 inch, right? As we mentioned, it's 120 inch. He says up to 120 inch. Where the heck did that come in at? That's 120 to 150 inches. So how are you painting up to 150 inches if you just clearly just said in the specification for the screen paint that it's up to 120, which means the biggest size you can paint out of that is up to 120, but you got it over here for 120 to 150. That doesn't make any sense at all, period. That means you don't know what you're doing in your application, you're just lying all over the place. Then you're talking about this multi-step processing, repeat steps 4 times that you have to go through this whole entire process. But you say here that you never said anything about color.
Hi folks, Danny here with Partay. Happy Monday. That Crystal Edge Technology Screens has actually put out about Partay's products and the application process. So I'll cover them off just in little bits here, but you can see this is 1 container that I'm making here. It doesn't matter which mixture it is. If I remember correctly, I was using Vega Plus here. But really doesn't matter because it's 1 container. It'll be 1 48-ounce container of 1 product. You don't get 4 different containers. You don't get 4 48s, which is what he's told you out there, that you'll get 4 different containers. You'll do 1 coating from each container, and each one of those is a little bit different from the other. That's a complete damn lie. It's 1 48-ounce container of whichever product you choose, and you're going to do 4 applications.
So basically, I'm going to go in and choose one of those paints, and I got to paint that in 4 times. And it's all going to be the same color. That's what you're stating. But in the video over top, doesn't show 1 color. It actually shows 4 different colors. That's what I'm seeing right there. That's what you're displaying.
It's 4 coats, right? So you can see that I'm stirring the material here. I'm going to pour it on and paint it in just a moment. But let's talk first.
Now this is the problem we have here. The first coat that he applies on is supposed to have something special to it that allows the other coats to be able to blend in with it. It has a purpose.
And the reason for that is because you have to try to screw it up, make water purge. What I usually do is run into the center of the 3rd one. There you go. Just keep going across. There you go. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Now, just, you can actually take your brush and brush that up aside if that happens. Where you have a little roll in the container. Here you go. Nice. Now you just want to go ahead and get to rolling. And what you want to do, the goal here is to cover the surface. You're not trying to get a pretty roll, like you're rolling a wall in your house or something. You just want to, first of all, what you want to do is try to get your roller saturated with the material. Rolling it back and forth, you want to saturate your roller with the material.
Like this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I have not done this, so.
But now you want to start rolling it, like rolling that out, because what you see is you've got little pieces. There you go. You're just trying to get coverage, a good, even coverage. It's not going to look even as far as color, but you want the whole surface to be wet. It's as easy as that. Just basically, but try not to roll it off. I usually roll side to side.
I got you.
So let me get this straight. I'm going paint in. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going paint in 4 colors of the same color paint. And the first application, I'm just going to paint it in just to wet the screen. Just to paint the screen in. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Just to paint the screen in. I'm going to put in 4 coats. And I'm going to paint the first one in just to wet the screen. That's like me coming up there and saying, oh, this is what we're going to do. I'm just going to paint the screen just to wet it. And then we're going to put in 3 more coats of the same color. Yeah, that's stupid.
And that's really all you're wanting to do is just make sure you get a good even coat.
Right here?
Mm-hmm. And just do that again. Let the weight of the roller do that over and over across your surface. The surface. So the surface is going to have less texture. It's going to be very fine and give you a really nice image. So this will help you optimize. That's it. You're done. This will help you optimize the surface. So the surface is going to have less texture. It's going to be very fine and give you a really nice image. So that's it. It was just.
So you're saying that this first coat base that you put on is going to help optimize the surface and give it a real smooth coat. Well, that's stupid if you're basically painting in the same color screen paint 4 times in a row. So if I'm painting the screen a wall white, they're going to say, well, you're going to paint that first coat in because that's going to optimize and smooth the surface out to give it a really fine coat. And I'm going to look at it like, wait a minute, it's the same paint. Why in the world I got to paint this 4 times? Why don't I just paint it 1 time and be done with it? No, but you have to do this 1 coat. You have to wet the screen. You have to get it wet to optimize the surface. So that's bullcrap, man. That's dummy. Look, man, let me tell you something. This is your original video. This is what you said. This is what you were doing. And then you came with this other video. You tried to lie. And you had this video right here. Partay, you're an idiot. And then sit there and say you never said anything about 3 colors. What color is that? Is that 2 different colors right there? We're not that smart in the day. What color is that? Is that 2 different colors right there? It is, isn't it? All right.
So there's code 3. It may end up being our last coat. I know I said 4. We'll take a look at the end of this and see if we need a 4th coat. Sometimes I'll go ahead and do a 4th coat anyway. It's good to have 4 coats because this is an optical layering system. Okay, so you're building something here. Specifically, it's made for it to have essentially 4 coats. So we'll probably come back and do our little 4th coat on it. But for the most part, we're going to just let this set for a second, come back. We'll put it in front of the fan there, let it dry, and then we'll be back. All right, guys, we're back, and so we're going for the 4th and final coat.
Now, what color is that, Partay? Is that a different color? So basically, you just displayed 4 different colors. I'm going to ask you again on this one, because I know you basically, it's like a penny bouncing around in a tin can. How are you going to ship this out to customers? If I'm a customer at the end of the day, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing 4 different colors. Yes, I'm going to say it's going to come in 4 containers. Why would it not come in 4 containers? How in the world would you ship all these different colors in one container without them becoming mixed together? It would have to come in. That's basic common sense. But you sat here and said that you never said anything. Well, you didn't say anything about containers, but common sense. It would have to come in 4 containers. And you said nothing about 4 colors. Then what the freak is this? What the heck are you talking about? So why would I sit there and paint 4 layers of the same screen paint if they have no difference, if they have no purpose? What's the difference between each one of them? Why would I have to paint a screen in 4 times in a row? What's the purpose behind that? Because here you had a purpose. You said that the reason why that first coat had to be put in because it was some kind of optical lay-in surface to make it smoother and whatever it was supposed to design to do. So what's the difference in me painting in a white screen on top of a white screen on top of a white screen on top of a white screen? What's the difference? No. You're just being an idiot at the end of the day. You're just trying to cover up dumb stuff that you already did. Like I said, doing stupid stuff while you're tripping over stupid stuff while you're doing stupid stuff. Let's finish this right here.
First, about why would Ken come up with that? Why would he state that? Because that was never stated anywhere within any of our videos. Not once have we said that you would get 4 containers. We said that you would do 4 applications. Now, that's not a misconstruence, because it was never actually stated. It's just a lie. It's just a smear to try to...
So you never said that you never said in your demonstration, you never showed at any time 4 colors on a screen being painted in. That's like going to Home Depot and saying, hey, look, I need 4 colors. You think they're going to put them all in one container? No, they're going to put them in 4 separate containers so they don't get mixed up. That's what they're going to do. That's basic common sense. Apparently you don't have it.
Scare people away from buying a Partay product by using things from a video that were never actually stated and making up his own little story to try to make it sound like it's going to be super complicated, and also that the whole thing was a lie. That's not the truth. So no 4 containers, no 4 colors. And as you can see, the application, now I'm actually going back and forth on this first panel a lot more because
you could sit there and have a conversation about Swiss cheese. You could paint right across the screen, it will cover regardless. We know that at the end of the day. The reason why it's not covering, because there's oil in it. On top of that, there's a lot of water in the paint. When it was mixing up, there's a lot of water. You'll see when it gets real close to the screen, you see the paint beating up, because that's the paint that's not mixing well because it has a lot of water into it. But here's the thing. He's painting this side that's gray and this side it's black. This side is covering better because it's gray, it's easy to camouflage in. This side is black, it's not painted in so well.
at the time I was actually doing the narration as a part of the video. And so I was talking and just kind of going back and forth. And right
excuse.
there,
That's an excuse.
Going back and forth. So essentially you just want to coat the screen with the material and then go back and do a pressured roll, a full pressured roll up and down. And then you're going to come back, and what I'm doing here is I'm doing half over. 3 easy steps. Coat the surface, do a pressured roll.
Dude, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do to your screen. We can finally get our hands on it because you're scared to ship it out. When I finally get my hands on your screen, I'm going to have somebody do this application versus our application. I'm going to have strangers do it. Then I'm going to roll over your freaking screen and show you how it's done. Gee, was that sloppy and nasty. That is really nasty.
Roll to spread, or make sure that the material.
Look how bad this looks.
Out. And then you're going to come back.
Do you see all those streak marks? Look at the beads of water popping off. That's because there's a lot of water and oil in this. Look how nasty that looks.
And do your soft roll half over. And if you look here, you can see that you're not getting a uniform color. And that's not the point. That's the difference. That's where this varies from a paint. That you're not looking to try to get a uniform coat the first time out of the gate.
That is the most stupid and dumbest thing I've ever heard in screen paint history. So let me get this straight. I'm going to paint over expensive motorized projection screen with this crap, and that's the results I'm going to get from the door. And then I got to paint this an additional 3 more times on top of that.
What our consumers know is that all you need to do is follow the instructions. Follow the instructions, and in your 4 coats, you're going to end up having a uniform color, uniform look about the screen. But you're going to put on 4 applications because you're building an optical layering system. No one ever said anything.
You're building an optical layering system. So you're going to paint the screen with the exact same 4 colors out of the container. Let me explain something to you, Partay. Number one, that paint has to be extremely watered down, because there is no way in the world you're going to paint a 150-inch screen, which you have there. You have up to 120-inch in your specifications, but as you go into this paint instructions, you say up to 150 inches. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. I doubt you can get 120 inch. You mind doing that demonstration, painting it 120 inch?
About fusion. There was never any conversation about layers needing to fuse. Okay, so we'll come back to that in just a few.
No,
you can see that this is now dry.
That's dirty. Look how that looks. That looks awful. That's your first coat. That's how bad the first coat looks. That is awful. Any customer that's going to see that on their screen is going to freak out. That looks absolutely awful. That didn't take well. That's a smear fest right there. It looks like the side of Freddy Krueger's face.
And you can see the pattern still there. Everything.
That looks awful. Absolutely awful. This is the way it should look. Something like that. But that is absolutely awful. So you mean to tell me I put that first coat on? The reason why you have to do 4 coats, because the first one's not going to take. It's going to come out looking like that. Most customers are going to have an issue painting motorized projection screens. They don't want to be painting it 4 times in a row. And some people don't have time to paint it 4 times in a row. Can you imagine if a contractor was going to be doing this? He'd have to paint that 4 times in a row. Oh, that's a headache. That's a freaking headache. Look at that mess.
It's still there from the first coat. And then we're going to do a second coat. Okay.
Now, he painted both of these screen paints on both sides. This part being black and this side over here. You're going to have to prime the surface to put that down. Because if you have any color walls, that's going to bleed through.
Okay, and you just follow the same instructions. Now, the reason that Ken feels so threatened by this is because, once again, as you saw in yesterday's video, where he was trying to state that once you paint a very soft and stretchy material, that it's going to get hard and you're never going to get it back over a frame. That is a lie, at least for Partay products. For paint, I agree with that. Because paint will stiffen. That's what paint does. You get paint chips. You'll never get a chip out of this. This will never get hard enough.
Because Partay, you have half a container of water in your paint. That's what you have. Pretty much what you've done, you basically are selling your product a watered down screen paint. That's why it looks like this. Because it's watered down. You've done something that, like I said, contractors, some people do it at the end of the day to stretch paint. People do that sometimes to stretch paint. I'm saying all contractors, but I've seen people do this stuff. But to stretch paint, to get a little more out of it, to add some water to it. And that's what you did. That's all you're doing. You're selling a watered down product. That's why it didn't cover here correctly.
To chip. It's a flexible material. That's what it's designed to do. And it terrifies him because he can't understand what's happening with the product. And I'm saying it again because he only knows paint and color. That's the only things. So he decided that it was in his best interest as a competitor to lie about another competitor's
2 coats.
application
Again,
process,
just to paint a screen.
as well as the product itself. Because you...
Does that look like a straight line to you right here? He's supposed to be telling you to put that approximate straight line. That looks kind of messy right there. But again, like I said, that's 2 coats already. It takes us 1 coat to paint a screen. Paint, dry, display.
Hear him consistently say that my product is nothing more than house paint. Now, I would remind you that Kenneth has never seen a Partay product face to face.
Well, why haven't we seen a product face to face? Because Partay, we ordered your product multiple times and you canceled the orders. Because you were afraid to have your product down here because it doesn't work. That's a cancel order. That's a receipt from Partay where we went and placed an order for your product multiple times. About $700 worth of orders transferred to your account for basically buying your products, and you canceled every single one of them because you were afraid. That's why. We would have had your product, but you kept canceling. So you can't blame me because we don't have your product, because you cancel because you're afraid because your product doesn't work. It's nothing but house paint. I can take that Software Gray by Sherwin-Williams and I can basically match your product. But even more so, you sat there and said your product didn't come in 4 colors. It does come in 4 colors. It shows right there in the video. You said it doesn't come in 4 containers. It has to come in 4 containers. There's no way you're going to be able to ship that out. And you're telling the customer that they're going to paint 4 times in a row the exact same color over and over and over again. What's the reason for painting that screen over and over again 4 times with the same color? What's the reason? I can see about Goose Green. Goose Green has a primer, they have the paint, and they have a sealer. So what's the purpose of you painting the screen 4 times the same color?
He's never had it. So how would he know that it's just a house paint? But that's what he's doing. He's definitively stating that it's nothing more than a house paint. Now, folks, he's also definitively told you that it contains Vaseline. Now, he's tried in a couple of subsequent videos to turn it to vegetable oil, but he always comes back to Vaseline.
There you go, Partay. No, we don't need that right now. Get out of here, Java. I'll get to you later. I'll get to you later. Let me see. Right there. Is that not you? What does it say in your description of your product on how to make it? Do-it-yourself black projection screen paint. Does it say that right there? What does it say right there? It says 1.5 cup of body gel. That's Vaseline. Is that your website right there? So you're saying that you never say anything about oil or gel? That's body gel right there. That's Vaseline right there. And you said something about if we had your product, we would have known it's not a paint. Well, that's kind of hard to do when you're scared to ship it out because you keep canceling your orders because you're afraid to ship it over here. So that basically knocks that theory out of the water. Then you say your product, basically you never say anything about different color paints. You just showed a video of you painting different color paints. And then in your description, you say, well, actually part of the description you say up to 150 inch, but you say it paints up to 120 inch. Doesn't make any sense. But that clears it up right there. And keep in mind, when we painted the screen in, we got that same shiny coat that you have in this demonstration right over here. The first application, when it goes on, has that shiny coat on it. Smearing just like Vaseline. The same problem we had when we made that product that had that body gel in it, Vaseline, that was basically smearing all over the screen and left this real interesting shiny texture to it. Just like that. Just like that. What do you think? I'm stupid at the end of the day, Partay? You just embarrassed yourself badly on YouTube. You got up there and made this video and lied. And I came in and I showed you where you basically are nothing more but a fat liar at the end of the day. You lied on every level you could possibly think of. That's the same texture that you have in the paint that you're smearing all over the screen. I had the ingredients when you asked to basically add in body gel, which is actually Vaseline. We have right here where we showed you where you sat there and said that you never said anything about different colors. The video up there shows 4 different color paints being applied to the surface. And you're saying nothing about it doesn't come in 48. Well, in order for you to be to ship that paint out in those different colors, you're going to have to come with 4 different containers. That's just basic common sense at the end of the day. On your instruction video, you sit there and you say that you can paint up to 150 inch screen, but in your specification on your site, it clearly sits there and says up to 120 inches. You lied too much. And then you sit there and say, oh, he never had my product. How would he know? Well, we placed an order 7 times for your product and you canceled every time because you're afraid because your product doesn't work. What else you got to say? Talk some more trash in your demonstrations. I can embarrass you all day. And it's ported screen. And on top of that, you mean to tell me you painted that screen the first time and it didn't take and you got to go in again a second time?
But the whole point is to introduce something malicious, right? He's trying to tell you that there's a component that's in our mixtures that shouldn't be. The problem is that it's not there to begin with. It never has been there. There's never been Vaseline. We've told you what most of the components are. They're not Vaseline, and it's just with malicious intent. He tells you that. Think of it in the context of the CEO of Pepsi coming out and making a public statement that Coca-Cola has started putting something into their product that will hurt people, but it not being true.
Let me tell you something, buddy. If Coca-Cola had a film, I found a file that Coca-Cola was putting. Matter of fact, there was something about Coca-Cola a long time ago involving basically cocaine. That's a long story, a long time ago about it. It's actually, you gotta look it up. It's pretty interesting. But anyway, the evidence is there. The evidence is there. It's right there. You have it right there. It says it right there on the phone. Is that not your Squarespace account right there? Is that not your YouTube channel? What did it say in the ingredients? It said body gel. That's what it said. Guess how body gel reacts when you put it in a water-based paint? It acts like oil. That's what it acts like. And you have it right there. But you said you never said that at all, period. But it's right there in the ingredients. Now what? You sound like Nixon at the end of the day. I'm not a thief. Yes, you are. You're nothing but a liar. That's what you are. Do me a favor. Try to keep your website open for a year. Nothing but a liar. Sitting there lying. If you had my product. If you make it possible we can get your products and you can actually ship one over here without crying and whining like a little baby and canceling your orders, we would have had it by now. I ordered $700 worth of paint and shipped it, actually put that into your banking account. And what did you do? You put that money back in my account. You put that money back in my account. I had never had to take a dime out of my pocket to go on and rebuy again. As a matter of fact, we bought so much from this guy, he got scared and shut down the marketplace. You forgot about that, didn't you? Oh, just amnesia pop up somehow? Okay, just wondering.
What do you think is going to happen? Truth is, Partay products are nothing like he describes. Mm-hmm. It is a completely unique product. And Mr. Bird has claimed that he knows exactly what's in it.
You have spent forever painting this screen. I watched you roll over the screen. The screen's not that big. It's like a freaking 2x3. That's basically about it. And you have to run a roller across it that many times? Are you kidding me? This is how you know the paint's not taking too well if he has to keep rolling over top of it. See these spots in here? See all those little spots that are popping up? That's because the paint's not taking too well. That's why. That's why you're seeing all those little spots in there. That should have covered already. It should have been solid like that, not looking like this over here. Because it's not taking. That's why it's taking forever for him to paint that screen in. How long is he going to take to paint this thing in?
And then exactly what's going on, and yet has never seen it in person. Never. So what Ken has essentially done is moved from speculation into defamation.
We never seen it in person because Partay, you canceled your orders because you were afraid. That's why. These are nothing but canceled orders from you. Nothing but canceled. These are confirmed. We ordered, canceled, order over and over and over again. That's why we never saw it in real life. But I can look at it right here and tell no one has to buy your product to not be to see and look at this and tell that your product came in 4 colors. Basic common sense. No one would have to have your product to know that if you got a paint that has 4 colors of it, it's going to come in 4 containers. Who's going to sit there and say, oh, it comes in 4 colors, but it comes in 1 container? The first thing's going to pop into your mind, basic common sense, idiot. They're going to say, well, paint's going to get mixed together. How do you keep it from getting all mixed up? It has to come in 4 containers. There you go. These people are not smart at the end of the day. And even painting your screen forever.
He slandered our product, all with the intent to try to scare people away from buying it.
Well, look, if I slander your product, take me to court. Go ahead, take me to court right now. Get a lawyer, sue me, take me to court right now. Knock yourself out. As a matter of fact, I give you 1 week to file the lawsuit. 1 week. Get it done. If I stand on your product, I will gladly walk into court on this one. And then I'll turn around and hit you with a counter lawsuit. And then you'll see my face. I'll know what you look like. What you hide behind that camera all the time. I'll see what you look like. To walk in a courtroom and see what happens. I guarantee you won't win. What you going to do? Go in there and say, at the end of the day, I never said 4 colors, and we got a video up there showing 4 colors on the screen. I never said it came in 4 containers. A judge is going to look at you and like, hey, he might even call you an idiot. Well, how else are you going to ship it? My lawyers will sit there and say, how else are you going to ship it? You going to ship it all in 1 container? We just saw 4 colors on the screen. Did you not see 4 colors on the screen? Were you colorblind at the end of the day? You could get cursed out in that courtroom. You're going to look pretty bad. Go ahead, take me to court. You got 1 week to file the lawsuit. Matter of fact, my number's right up there. Have your attorney call me today or tomorrow. Don't care. Have a lawsuit. I want to see one. Bring me to court. I dare you. Coward. I'll say some dumb nonsense like that. Slander. Go ahead. You won't win in court. I guarantee you. What are you going to say in court? Oh, he said my product was 4 different colors. Yeah, 4 colors right here. We got a copy of this. Don't even try to erase it. We got a copy. Oh, he said that it has to come in 4 containers. How else are you going to ship 4 different colors, you dumb? Oh, he says it's Vaseline in it. We got it right there from your freaking video right there. We got your freaking ingredients from your website with your website address attached to it, saying basically body gel. It's basically Vaseline, dumb. Gee whiz. Go ahead, knock yourself out. That's not slander. That's truth. We have it right there. And you're going to say, well, he never had the product. He never seen the product. He doesn't know what he's talking about. We tried to order your product multiple times. You kept canceling the orders because you're a coward. What else you got? Then I'll sit there in court and my attorney will pull out all those paperwork, all those videos, demonstrations where you slandered my product, where you claim to have my product. Where are my receipts at the end of the day? Here's my receipts on your product right there. Where are my receipts on the product that you claim that you slandered, that you had my product at the end of the day? Where am I? Taking my pictures and slandering them all over YouTube and all over there. Never did that to you at the end of the day, but you did it to me. See what happens. Go ahead and draw me in court. By the time we walk out of there, man, you be walking out of there with a freaking barrel around your waist. I will strip everything from you. Go ahead. Tempt me. Play with me. Knock yourself out. You got 1 week to file that lawsuit. I better see something in 1 week. Because I definitely want to see your face. Trust me. So do my attorneys. Go ahead. That'll save me the time of getting an investigator. No coward. Talking all this trash. Can't even back his product up. Talking about 4 different colors. You just displayed 4 colors right here. Talking about containers. How else is it going to come in? Talking about Vaseline. Got a video right there. Show them right there. You said Vaseline. We made it right there on camera. Had body gel in it. Please. Something wrong with them.
Now, as you can see here, we just
1 week. I better see a lawsuit.
So part of that process, whenever you finish your coat, when you look at the screen, what you're going to see is a lot of little bubbles, right? So keeping in mind, this is more like using plastics or resin.
No, the bubbles comes from water. That's what it is. That's the water beating off the paint. That's what you're seeing. That's a complete lie.
So you're going to get some bubble creation. Now, generally in resins, that's a big bad thing to happen, right? So you want to try to keep that from happening as much as possible. That's part of the creation and design of this material, is that what doesn't work for resins works very good for this. Because what happens is that all those bubbles will pop.
Dude, you literally sound like one of them freaking crooked preachers that come on some freaking TV show that tells you that he can heal you from a mile away, and that's what you sound like. Literally, you sound like one of them crooked preachers. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The bubbles are coming from the paint beating. They're beating off the paint because they can't basically marry to the paint. That's what it is. That's where it's coming from. You have almost a half a container of water in your paint, and you're talking they pop. What else is a bubble going to do? It's going to just stay there for infinity. It's not going to pop.
Pop. The material is going to self-level itself to some degree. But what's going to happen is you're going to see these randomized patterns of material that overlap each other. And it is the randomized diffusion, randomized reflectivity, and transmission that really makes Partay products hum. As we told you before, it's reflectivity and transmission that really makes Partay products hum. Material is going to self-level itself to some degree, but what's going to happen is you're going to see these randomized patterns of material that overlap each other. And it is the randomized diffusion, randomized reflectivity,
Fusion?
and transmission.
You just sat there and said in the video, you said nothing about fusion. You just mentioned fusion just a few minutes ago in the video. Gee whiz.
That really makes Partay products hum. As we told you before, there's not a drop of house paint in Partay products. All of our toners, okay, so we make our own toner, which is part of the mixture, and that toner is based upon inks, not paint. Okay, and here you can see the second coat is dry. Just turn the fan off.
So you just told me at the end of the day that your product is made out of ink. Ink and water. That's what it is. That you just said ink and water. That's no. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. Your product's not made out of ink. If it was ink, that stuff would be so runny with no texture to it whatsoever. There's no thickness to ink. Ink is very thin, very fine. It'd be so runny, it wouldn't be funny. No, I'm sorry, buddy. You got to stop lying on this.
You can still see it's starting to fill in, right? But you still have these areas where you can see through the material to the back. But our third coat's going to start to close some of that.
You see how bad that looks? Third coat. Now we're going a third coat with the same color paint.
That gap, and you'll see that here in just a moment. So let's talk about fusion, because Partay didn't mention anything about fusion. But what you've heard Ken say out there is that how are the screens going to fuse?
That looks absolutely awful. That's your screen at the end of the day. That's how bad it looks. After 2 coats, you still got 2 more coats to go on that product. That's how bad it looks. It looks like a bag of wet rice. That's what it looks like. That looks horrible. That looks absolutely horrible. Wow.
How are they going to fuse? What happens if you skip the second coat and was to just do the third coat? Well, that's the reason you've heard me say, well, if I skip the second and go to the third, doesn't that make the third the second? Of course it does. There's no fusion required here, folks.
If you skip the second and go to the third, doesn't that make that the... No, it doesn't. Gee whiz. Seriously, do you guys crack books at the end of the day? That means you skipped a step. That's what it means, jerk. My goodness, I hate to call him a jerk. I'm sorry. You skipped a step. That's what you did. My goodness, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And you can still see right in here, it's not, the screen is not even blending well. It's still not taking. See that right there? It's caking up. That's still bad at the end of the day. That's not good at all. That's not a good sign. That's a horrible sign. So let me ask you a question. If you're doing this demonstration and you're showing 4 coats of the same paint, what is the purpose of this demonstration? What's this for? Why was this demonstration ever made to begin with? If this is not how your products are applied to, why do you have this here? So you mean I'm going to sit back and I'm going to watch freaking God knows how long of a demonstration of a screen being painted in with 4 different colors, and then I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to watch another demonstration of saying that that's not how it's done. I never said anything about that, but the video is right over top. This is the way we paint it in. This is the way it's done. But it's 4 coats of the same color. That's the big picture, Partay. That's the big picture of it all. If this is the main picture right here, the main way the screen is painted, what the frick is this? Why did you have your wife come in, take time off to paint this thing in, and then the demonstration you posted this one, I started running, it's right here. That ended up matching the wall. So what the heck is going on with this? Gee whiz.
No fusion. As a matter of fact, fusion would work against the whole principle that we're going for here. You want 4 coats that are bonded, not fused together, but bond to each other. Just like if you were painting a wall and you paint a first coat and then you paint a second coat once that dries, it's not going to fuse, it bonds. And just like the manufacturer,
if you're going to paint a screen, you're not painting a wall, you're not going to paint it 4 times. The only time you're going to paint a wall 4 times is that the paint is very, very thin and the primer's not working, the paint's bleeding through. But if you have a 1-coat application product, which most people do when they paint rooms, they can paint it 1 time and they're done. That's it. It's a 1 coat. That's when people go there and they ask how much for this particular gallon. It's a little bit more. Why? Because it's a 1-coat process. There's no primer. It paints all in one. Paint it and you're finished. What's this one? It's a cheaper version. This is going to require multiple coats and priming. That's a bad freaking analogy based on that one.
screens that are using different layers, multi-layered materials, right? Those materials are generally just plastics. And the materials that they're using are not fused in a sense. They don't blend them together to make one. They actually bond them to make a single screen, right? Because if you took a layer that's actually doing a specific
you do know the screen he's painting in literally can't pick up contrast for jack. And not only can it pick up contrast, it won't pick up color either. That screen, any certified gunmetal will eat that thing alive. That's basic house paint. You literally, all you had to do was just go in and just get 1 coat. You did the exact same thing. Any freaking network gray 773 slip silver would have done the exact same thing. All you had to do is add in 1 coat. You're not putting in 4 or 5 coats with slip silver and any other screen paints. I got one for you, Partay. Take some of those gray screen paint products out there, slip silver, network gray, put it against your product. Let's see a comparison. Mind you, that's going to be a 1 coat application. Let's see this.
specific filtering action, the last thing you want it to do is be fused with another layer. Just that would diffuse the whole purpose. So there's no fusion that's required here. And I don't really understand where he pulls that fusion.
How many
chip
times do you
from,
put the
but
roller
there's
over the
nothing
screen?
that
Look at
requires
this.
any kind of fusion here for it to work.
Go back and watch. Gonna paint it again.
That's just something he
Watch.
fabricated. I would challenge him to show where fusion is even necessary. All right, so we've completed our third coat, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when it dries just in a second. You'll be able to see that it's really starting to fill in nicely. You see much less in the way of gaps. You can see that here before it's dry.
Let me tell you something. Network Gray 773, same color. 1 coat, done. That's it. You're finished. He just put 3 coats on that. You see that surface he has? That surface he has is a 2x3. Can you imagine doing that on that 150 inch I got in the next room, or a 100 inch screen, going through that same process? Do you see how long that took? That's a freaking headache at the end of the day. Whew.
But you'll see it even more so when it is drying. But let's talk, because Ken says next that I give you way too much. You shouldn't need 48 ounces to do a 120 inch screen, right? That I only guarantee up to 120 inch. So let's talk about why that is. You've got 48 ounces, which is a quart and a half. Okay, so that's 6 cups of material. For a 120 inch screen, you're going to use 1 1/4 cups for the first roll. You can see we're getting started here. We're going to do our 4th coat, but you can see how this is.
Let me tell you something, buddy. First things first, you're going by, you have no proof of this. Have you painted these screens and just show a 120 inch screen by 1 cup? Are you showing this? Because regardless, this is what it comes down to. Customers are going to use more or less. You're going to have some customers are going to go heavy. So when we paint a screen, we judge it by the entire 48 ounce. We take the 48 ounce, we pour it to the surface. We have to have this much paint left over. As you watched in one of the demonstrations where I did the 48 ounce, I painted I painted a 98 inch motorized projection screen and a 106 inch wallpaper screen from 48 ounces. 96 ounces would do a 250 inch screen. We got screen paint that when we did 32, did 135. All those are documented and painted down and done. Anytime a customer comes to me, we don't go through some cup nonsense or 1 cup and 2 cups. You can't go by that. Because you're going to have some customers that are going to saturate the roller, they're going to use more for more or less. What if they spill a little bit? There's a whole lot of things that can go wrong when you're painting the screen. Some people are going to use more paint than you're going to paint. Just because you can use a cup to paint a screen doesn't mean the next person may not use a cup. Some person's going to use more and they're going to come up short. That's why you don't do it that way. That's the dumbest thing ever. Oh my goodness. This is what it comes down to. First things first, you have it down, not at 120, but you have it stated on your site, 150 you have in there. So why would you put something in there? You're mentioning 120 only. This is what you're mentioning, 120 only. Right? So 120 only. That's what he's mentioning. He completely forgot that he wrote down about the 150 inch. Here we go, right there. So what happened to that? You just completely skipped that paragraph altogether? Didn't you just say 1 cup and 1/4 for 120 to 150? It's going to be a lot more than that. And you're going to do a 4-coat application on this surface? That's what you're going to do? Really? That's not going to work. You're going to run out of paint. Definitely from the door. Now, the reason why he changed it over to being all one color is because if he was trying to make this paint 4 different paints, 4 different colors, this would be virtually impossible. He couldn't make any money because he would have to make 4 individual screen paints. That's what he would have to do. But now he changed it over where he's trying to lie and say that, oh, now only saying it's 4 coats, but it's 1 solid color. That way he doesn't have to change different colors. He can keep 1 color, put a lot of water into it, water it down, and say, look, we'll put this in a 48-ounce container, and you're going to paint this multiple times. You have to paint it multiple times because you don't have a choice because the paint's too thin. You're going to have to put multiple applications just to cover that nonsense. As you saw when he was trying to cover the black side of it that was painted, he had to paint that over and over again and again. Can you imagine running that over and over again on a 100-inch screen? You're going to put that many applications just to cover it. When someone can just come in there with bare silver screen or freaking slip silver or pretty much the Network A773 and done. That's it. They're finished. 1 coat. No one's going to paint that in. And then on top of that, if you look at the color of it, any gray screen paint will beat that. It'll match it at the end of the day. You went through all that work to have somebody come in with network gray and do it one time and finish and done. And he's talking about too much for a 120-inch screen. Well, if you break it down and you're doing 4 48 ounces, yeah, that's too much for a 120-inch screen. That's too much. But you have it in there, you said it covers up to a 120-inch screen. If you were doing 4 colors, that means you would have 4 individual colors in a container that would paint a 120-inch screen. That's where that theory came from. But now you went and changed and said, oh, I never said anything about colors, 4 colors. I never said that, but it says it right there. You got the video right over top of you showing multiple colors. I said it was 1 color only. That's it. That's what I said. Dude, you're a freaking liar. At the end of the day, it's right there. That theory applies if anyone goes and takes that nonsense over top and tries to make 4 different individual screen paints, 4 different individual colors, then you're going to have 1 color per each layer, which means out of 48 ounces, you're going to cover up to a 120-inch screen, which is going to leave you paint left over. Dum-dum. Now, if you take the paint and you make it 1 solid color, then you're painting 4 applications of the same color over and over again and again and again. That's what you're doing. Which means now you can put down 1 container of 48 instead of having 4. There's no point in you having 4 because it's not 4 different individual colors. It's 1 color. So you're only going to need 1 48 to do that, which I told you to do from the door. That if you basically get rid of the 4 color combinations, put it down to 32 and make it 1 color, now you don't have to make 4 individual different forms of colors, which you have right there, which will have to be shipped in 4 different individuals of containers because it would be cross-contamination, dummy. Simple and plain. But you come in with this dumb nonsense. You just basically just took what advice that I gave you and then tried to turn around and try to make me sound like a liar when you actually took the advice that I told you to take to begin with. Because now you're making it one color. That means now you don't have to make multiple different colors or multiple different containers. You have one container now. But now you have that one container, you're coloring the same screen, the exact same color, 1, 2, 3, 4, when anyone can come in with a gray paint and go 1, done. And if you're saying up to 120-inch screen, you're going to have to get 4 applications for a 120-inch screen. And you should be able to stretch it because you have water in your paint, which people do when they want to stretch the product so it can stretch a little longer. But you came up with some lie talking about it's a distill system. It's designed to basically, distill water. It's designed to transfer the paint to keep it from evaporating. Now, the big question we have here is, what's the purpose of this demonstration? Why do you have this here? Because you can't get rid of this video right here. You know why? Because this video is based on all of this. That's why. Stupid.
This starting to fill in very nicely. So your fourth coat's going to give you a fully uniform finish. But back to our amounts. You're going to use a cup for each 3 rolls after. So that is 4 1/4 cups. So you're already over 32 ounces, which is your quart. So I give you plenty enough, not just to make sure that you can do a 120-inch screen with the 4 applications, but also that you have enough to do some test panel rolls beforehand, so that you can actually get your practice with the material. But also, if you want to see whether you want it over a white flat substrate.
How about you do this? Instead of talking that nonsense, paint the screen in. 120-inch screen. Post the video on your website. I'll come and check it out tomorrow. That's what I want to see. I want to see you paint in the 120-inch screen. Now, when you do this, keep in mind, Partay, when I ask for these things, they always come with these twists and they're complicated with me because I like to have testing done. I don't do anything by the book. I want you to see you come in tomorrow. I want to see this demonstration posted to your site. Matter of fact, I'll give you a week. Give you a week to get the lawsuit, and I'll give you a week basically to paint this to your screen. I want to see you paint a 120-inch screen live. I want you to take 4 cups, and I want you to paint in a 120-inch screen. Not only do I want you to paint this in, but I want you to get some of that network grade 773, some of that slip silver, and I want you to pick up, let's see, bare silver screen. And I want to see a difference. These are all 1 coat applications. There's nothing in them. That's it. I want to see you paint the bare silver screen, paint the network grade 773, and I want you to put it against your product. Because at the end of the day, you got nothing but water. That's nothing but water paint. That's all it is. That's but water paint. And second of all, let me explain something to you. Any customer can go out and just get any grade paint and paint it that one time and be done. No headache, no fuss, no muss, and be done. But paint that in. I want to see this. Other than that, you lied all the way through this. You definitely lied. You definitely have Vaseline in your paint because we've seen it in the instructions, which is linked to your website and linked to your YouTube channel. Yes, this is definitely house paint. I'm sorry, he's trying to say this is ink. That's not ink. If that was ink, that wouldn't even maintain. That'd be streaking all over the place. That's not going to happen at all, period. And ink on the other, on top of that, would stain the inside of that bucket like it wouldn't be. It would actually bleed in and stain it. It'd be blotty as I don't know what. So that's not going to happen, period. 4 colors, yeah, you just displayed 4 colors over here. Containers, you're going to need containers. If you're basically going by this video demonstration, because you wouldn't have done it if you didn't base your product off of it. And since you do base your product off of it, that means you would need 4 containers to ship this out because there's no way you're shipping 4 different colors in 1 container. So right there, just a clear base out lie. Let's finish this nonsense.
Or a black flat substrate, that you can actually do that and see which one you like better without wasting the material and not having enough to complete your screen. So Partay's trying to be a good citizen and make sure that folks have more than they need in material and enough to be able to play around with before they actually go to roll their screen.
I really wouldn't say good citizen, to tell you the truth. We got an email from you that there's some nasty words in it. That's not professional at the end of the day. We did post that, by the way. Basically, after he canceled a bunch of orders and he got really ticked off, he curses out in every curse word you can possibly think of. So no, that's not good, buddy. That's not going to go well with you. Basically, if you send emails with a bunch of curse words and carrying on and all that other nonsense, so that doesn't go well. But anyway, yeah, so far, man, this guy hasn't done well. The first lie he told when he said it doesn't come in colors, and we have this video right here. How are people going to feel when they come on here and they watch this demonstration, they see the colors, and then they come over here and they hear you say that you said nothing about colors? How does that work? Okay.
What Mr. Bird forgets, okay, is that it takes 4 applications and each application is going to take so much. So once again, for 120 inch, you are going to use at least 4 1/4 cups of material. So you're already over 32.
First things first, why the freak am I going to paint in 4 applications to begin with? That's the part you're not getting. No one is going to paint in 4 applications to a surface. They don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And I paint and I don't want to do it. So you mean to tell me that every time I paint a surface, I got to go 4 coats in? Nobody wants to do that crap. You just get house paint. It'll do the same thing. That's why he needs to do the test demonstration. You need to do the demonstration against Bayer and all the rest of them. So you can see at the end of the day, how much of a difference does this product show next to house paint? And number one, house paint only has to be painted in 1 time.
So that's why we provide you 48 ounces. It wasn't to copy anybody. I would actually make the statement that 48 ounces, I believe, existed before Mr. Bird did. Can I get an amen on that? All right, so
All right, so let me get this straight. First things first, we start at the 48s, and you copy. And second, on top of that, again, who's going to paint 4 applications into a screen? A good time trying to convince someone with a motorized projection screen that they're going to put 4 coats on a motorized projection screen. Even though it's not going to crack or damage the screen, it's not going to sell well. So let me get this straight. We got a company over here that says 1 coat and you're done, and we got a company over here that says 4 coats. Which one are you going with? There you go. People are going to go with what's going to be easy. They're not going to go through that nonsense at the end of the day. And again, what is the purpose of you painting the screen in 4 times? Why can't you just do it 1 time and be done? What changes the screen that you have to paint it in 4 times?
we finished our 4th roll. We'll let that dry. But let's talk about now. Ken actually has made the statements that the reason that I keep my carts closed is because I lose money on this product. By his logic, $40 per sale. So that's why I keep my carts closed.
Mm-hmm.
And that, folks, is just not true. Once again, just another lie, a fabrication by Kenneth Bird. And let me explain why. Now, it's been stated and it's been put out there for awareness numerous times that Partay products are offered for sale only Monday through Wednesdays. Now, I could go through a long explanation as to why that is, but at the end of the day, it really just comes down to I'm an extremely busy guy. Like a lot of people out there in the world, this is a side hustle. This is not my primary income by no means.
Again, stop it. Just stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You got people on eBay who sell, and that's not their primary income, and they basically run those stores 24/7. I can go on eBay and buy projectors right now. I don't got to wait till certain days to buy stuff. Partay, we hit your site every day for a month, and we couldn't get your product. I literally watched you shut your freaking shopping cart down because you're afraid to push out orders. We got the cancels right here. All your cancel orders left and right. And every time we go in to buy something from you, your site will shut down. You'll turn around and sit there and say that, oh, my product's going to be out on December. It's going to be out on January. It's going to be out on freaking July. Dude, your site can't stay open. You mean to tell me that you're telling me that you are going to sit there and tell me that you're so busy that you have got all shopping carts are locked down and that you can't open up your site? So that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So you're paying web space or Squarespace to keep your site open and you're not making money off of it? Yeah, that's not a very smart businessman at the end of the day. Then you need to shut it all down. If you can't basically keep it up and basically at the end of the day, it's too much work for you, then you need to shut it all down. At the end of the day, you don't do anything on the level that I do at the end of the day. Nothing at all, period. I can go back 10 years and you don't even exist. I can move forward and you're nowhere near on my product, my technology of what my company is designed to do. You didn't even exist when I actually first started. You were not even heard of. And you mean to tell me, you're going to tell me at the end of the day, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I know people who sell screen paint on a daily. I know people who have jobs and they have family and they still sell product. They still go to the post office and drop off packages. I know people on eBay that basically sell items on here and there on a day-to-day basis, go to college and whatever they got to do in busy schedule. But it doesn't take much to go in and take the product, put it into a box, wrap it up, send an email to the customer with a confirmation number, and then go to the post office and drop it off and you're done. That's a poor excuse at the end of the day. That's the poorest excuse I've ever heard in my entire life. I've ever heard. First things first, you wanted to change the how you actually apply the screen. You got rid of the 4 coats. I don't know if we got rid of it or not because it's still here. 4-coat color application. This is why nobody can believe anything you said. You just lied right from the door. The first thing you said when you lied from the door is you said you never say anything about the containers, and you said you never say anything about the colors, right? Colors are right there. 4 colors are right there. Basic common sense. If this is your video and this is what you're basing it off, what you have here, how are you shipping out a product on 1 container if it comes in 4 colors? Don't know how that works. So you have to have 4 containers. Then you come down here and you show a demonstration on, you say you do one, it's 1 product and you ship out 1 product and there's no colors involved, knowing the demonstration is right there. There's no colors involved at all, period. Ah, man, dude, it's a lie. Your website, okay, if that's the case and you said you're so busy and you opened up your web page at certain, what time did you say you opened up? Because we got orders from just about every time we've ordered from you. So let's see, what days are you open? What's the day for the day? What's today's date? January the 19th. Okay. So we're Thursday. All right, cool. Let's go over to, let's see. Let's see what time you will use service products. Wait, let's do some right here. And I'm going to go on your website. I'm going to check what you just said. Back it up to what you just said.
Right? So I have to allot time that I can actually spend with this, time that I have to give to my primary commitments, time that I have to give to my family, time that I have to give for just other ancillary stuff I want to do. So we do that, and then we process all of our orders on Thursdays and Fridays. Now, I lot for 2 days because I'm not always able to make it to the post office.
Mine was on your website yesterday. You said you processed your orders on Thursday and Friday. Doesn't mean jack at the end of the day at all, period. Your website is shut. It's not even open. I'm going to check your site every day now and post it. You said you process orders on Thursday and Friday, so you're not taking any orders. So you go in to your site and you shut down every shopping cart that said it's sold out. You know the object of a website? Websites are fantastic because they're open 24/7. I can go to Best Buy online, I can buy something over there, I can go over here and buy something, I can go to GameStop. It's open 24/7. Even if the site is closed, if the brick and mortar is closed, I can go on a website and get something what I want. Anything I want 24/7. That's the beautiful thing about online shopping. You're the only person I've ever heard make that statement that your site is only open at certain times. I've never heard it from any other website ever. The reason why your site is not open is because at the end of the day, you don't make any money off your product. You pay for a site that you can't make money off of. So let's see. When is he processing orders? Let's see. Let's have a look here. Shipping and returns. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay. Note, we sell Monday, Thursday, and Wednesday. Today is Thursday. You lie too much, man. I know your website better than you. You just said that we sell Monday, Thursday, and Wednesday. But you got over here something completely different. You said, if you decide to cancel your order, we need to do so prior on Thursday and Friday processing. So how are you processing Thursday but you're selling on Thursday? That doesn't make any sense. You have it right here. You're processing on Thursday but you're selling on Thursday. So which one is it? That doesn't make any sense, Partay, at all, period. You sell and you process. But you said when you process, you're not selling. But it says you sell on Thursday. So which one is it? So all you do is lie. You lie so much that the very stuff that you write in your website, you can't back up. That's how fast you lie. You lie faster than you write it. I knew I read that somewhere in your site. When you sat there and said something about processing orders, because we know when we place orders through your site, let me see my order forms over here. We got over here. Let's see what pops up on these order forms. January the 4th. What day would that be? Let me see. January the 4th, 2022. Tuesday. This is when orders replaced. You said we sell on Monday, Thursday, and Wednesday. We bought that on Tuesday. That's the date on my receipt. Right there. Order placed on January the 4th was on a Tuesday. And you had that you process Thursday and Friday, and we sell on Monday, Thursday, and Wednesday. But we put those orders through on Tuesday. Yeah, sure. You're such a liar. You gotta stop lying so much, man. You really gotta stop lying so much. How are you processing orders and you're basically selling at the same time? But you're saying you close your site. You close your site for processing orders. Is that what you're saying? How are you closing your site for processing orders when you're selling on Thursday at the same time? You can't sell and close the site at the same time. It's one or the other. Yeah, sure. You lie too much, Partay. You lie way too much. I told you that everything that I say and talk about, I can back it up. This is why when I tell you that when I see you in court, it's going to be a bad day for you. And I'm this thorough. Think about it. I'm this thorough on basically tracking everything you just said out of your mouth and showing that you are nothing but a potential liar. What do you think is going to happen when you walk into court with me? It doesn't go well. Now, keep in mind, through all we just saw at the end of the day, with painting the screen at the end of the day. This is what we
Yeah,
came
folks,
down
Kenny
with.
here, Partay. So
We came down with the screen matching the
do
wall.
that. I'm going to let it cure. This material cures over about a 7-day period.
All
I'm
that.
going to allow it to cure that full time, and then we'll run it.
Just to have the screen turn around and match the wall in the theater room. This is basically software gray. Watch this. I'm going to show you something right here.
Bright screen. I've taken this up to 400 lux, not front facing, okay, front 400 lux side or top angle, and you're going to be fine. It does very well in light for a gray.
You're not picking up contrast because this is black and that's coming up gray. Your bars are not coming up in black.
Screen extremely well, surprisingly well.
Listen to this.
But you know, these are designed to be optical screens. This is not a paint. Okay, we've said from the get-go, this is not a paint. It doesn't have any paint in it whatsoever. As a matter of fact, this is more closely related to your grandfather's leisure suit than it is paint. And that's the truth. True story. It's much more closely associated.
That screen completely washed out. He came back. That screen basically was washed out. Very bad design. Very down. Didn't do his job correctly, did he not? I want to hear when you said out of your mouth, you said something about if you paint the screen the 5th time, it's slightly brighter. Explain that one, because you didn't mention that anywhere in that demonstration.
With your grandfather's leisure suit. And the way that this works is that you're going to apply 4 optical layers, okay? You can apply at the end of it, and I talk about this in the display for the actual application that Kelly does here. But you can put a 5th coat if you so choose. Shouldn't be required, but if you do put a 5th coat, generally you get just a subtle amount more brightness. So a 5th coat can actually help you out, especially if you're going to be watching it in brighter light.
So you just said that a 5th coat will make the screen brighter, but you didn't mention this in the demonstration you just did. How does a 5th coat make the screen brighter if it's all the same paint?
If you do put a 5th coat, generally you get just a subtle amount more brightness. So a 5th coat can actually help you out, especially if you're going to be watching it in brighter light. All right, so I'll be uploading our application video.
And that's gray. That's not black. That's definitely gray. This is black. That's gray. But no, that's a lie, Partay. If you paint the screen the 5th time, I would love to see that demonstration. Please show that one. Show the demonstration of you painting the screen the 5th time and the screen being slightly brighter. I want to see you paint that application. You said 4 cups, 120-inch screen. And what is the difference between your product and Network Gray 773, Slip Silver, and the Micro Blend by Amazon? What's the difference between this product? I got to see this. Because mind you, all those coats are 1 coat. He's going to come on there, he's going to paint that screen in 1 time with them household paints. And again, you don't want to match that stuff. So show us the difference you got. Other than that, all you did was just lie through the entire demonstration. That's what you did. And your first lie is when you sat there and said that you didn't say anything about 4 colors. And we're looking at the demonstration showing you painting in 4 colors on the screen. Then you're going to say, well, about how is it not going to come in 4 containers, Partay? It's 4 different colors. That's basic common sense. Saying that you never said anything about Vaseline in your product. What do you think body gel is? It's Vaseline. It's right there. It has your logo on it. It has your freaking YouTube channel, and it has your website right at the bottom, and with the ingredients of you telling people to make this product for free, and it has body gel in it. I'm not going to go into the rest of the stuff. You just constantly lie through the whole entire thing. So that's why I said at the end of the day, be careful, people. You know, you got to watch these people at the end of the day. You got Crow over here with his product over here matching freaking Google images. Look at this stupid nonsense at the end of the day. Boom. That's a Google image. This guy dragged and dropped a Google image and put it into a site to make it sound like this is his product. That's what you're seeing at the end of the day. But that is freaking from Google. That's Crow in there crying. That's Crow crying right now on our channel. See him crying. Look at that. Metallica Mix 2.0. Got the nerve to have the picture right there. And then this is a product at the end of the day is nothing more than just black and white house paint. Got a video demonstration showing you how to make it for free, but you're charging people $95 for it and $75 on freaking eBay. Another product, another area we found on here, that another image he copied. I wonder if he basically took this off or he basically left this on. Let's see if he left on, if he kept it. All right, good. He left it on there. That's good. Let's go over here real quick. Let's go pop over to the Frankenstein. Another freaking lie at the end of the day. This is another lie from a customer. Look at this, $95 for house paint. Paint matching network grade 773. Trying to get money, $95 for this. Look at this monstrosity right here. This is even a fake image. See this right here? Look at this. Back. Look what comes up. Yeah. It's Google image right there. Another Google image snatched off of Google, put on this page. Trying to make it sound like, look like this is the contrast that comes off the Frankenstein. That's how it looks. That's a Google image right there. First quarter moon. That's what it's called. HD. And he snatched it and dragged it onto his site. And this is a person at the end of the day telling you can trust him. He's saving you hundreds. He's stealing hundreds from you. Nothing but a thief at the end of the day. Look at the information happening. I asked him a dozen times. I'm going to ask him one more time before we sign off here. I want to know, what is the difference between, he says right here, recommend it. I don't recommend. I don't recommend this for house use. Why don't you recommend it for house use, Jamie? Why can't I use this for house use? Can you tell me? He told me for customers only. He only tells customers only what that means. And if that's the case, don't have a description up here. Don't have nothing up here. Just put down, if you want to know about my products, you got only for customers only. That's what you should put. Because you're putting stuff up here, you and Partay are just throwing stuff into your site. At the end of the day, that's not real. You're just making stuff as you go along. Partay got caught up in that whole stacking system. You see how fast he had to change over to something completely different? Had to go into my I never said. And right there, you can clearly see in the video, you said. You guys are dummies at the end of the day. Let's go get this right here. Let's ask him the question. What is this, man? Come on, tell me. What is this? Here we go. Ask you again. I don't reckon. What does this mean? Question, what does that mean? Can you explain? Simple and plain, simple question. I'm asking him, why can't you use the Frankenstein in a fully lit in a house? Why? Why can't you? Can you even explain? Do you even know what this means? You wrote this in your specifications. Can you tell me why? Look at the dragon here, it's pretty good. See, that's what I'm talking about. This is what you got to worry about, people. The fact that these people at the end of the day have fake products. Can't back their products up for jack. Been asking this guy all day. You wrote this into your freaking description. Why? You're telling me that the Frankenstein, at the end of the day, it says right here. Sorry about the camera being so close. It says it right there. A little closer up, a little closer up. There it goes. I don't recommend for home use unless it's up to you. All right. So the question is, you wrote this in here. What do you mean? What do you mean? Why do you mean that it's not for home use? Why is it not for home use? What happens if I use it in the home? What's the outcome of it all? Can you explain this to me? You can't explain this to me because you guys are making this up as you go along. That's what you're doing. You're just constantly lying on camera. There's Joker snatching freaking Google images and putting them on his page, trying to claim people, oh, that's what my product looks like. You got nerve to call yourself the best of the best. And the other one's got over there talking about calling himself the king. You guys are jokes at the end. You should call yourself Jester and Jester. That's what you should call yourself. I'm done with you guys. I'll see you in court soon. Always crying and whining about something. In it, crying and whining right now. I just asked you several different times, Cancer, how bad is it that you have 10 hours? Actually, yeah, I'm done. My demonstrations are done. I get up in the morning, I do 4, I'm done at the end of the day. I got 10 hours to dig into you guys for being basically at the end of the day of not doing your business right. I got time. That's why I built the blacklist. Tell me, do I have time? Jamie, let me explain something to you. And the time I sat there in that spot, I got an LLC, I got my business license, I pay taxes at the end of the day. On top of that, I basically got my DOB on for my company at the end of the day. I'm licensed on top of that. I got copyrights on my technology. I got patent pendings on my technology. All that's done. All that's been registered. All that's been done. I can go to my freaking LegalZoom account. I can show you every application that I applied for and done and active. What do you got? I built 3 different websites. I basically designed product. I got test demonstrations that go a mile long that you guys don't even have at the end of the day. My website basically makes YouTube websites look like somebody basically smoked it and blah, blah, at the end of the day. I got more knowledge at the end of the day you guys will ever have. I can go back 10 years and still crush you. What do you have at the end of the day? Nothing. But this dinky nonsense. I don't go to freaking Google and snatch freaking images off Google to try to make my products look good. I don't got to do that. My products do look good. I don't got to come on freaking faking about how we don't do different colors or different screen paints, and literally got the video right there. He kind of sounds like, he don't remind me of, he reminds me of Charlie Murphy. Remember the Rick James skit where they had Rick James and they were talking about how Rick James walked into his house and took his muddy boots and stomped all over his couch, and Rick James said, would I look like a kind of person like that at the end of the day, gonna walk in somebody's house? Yeah, I did. I stepped on Eddie's couch. There you go. That's exactly what he just did. You guys can't back your products up. I got multiple cancellations on both of y'all. 19 on one, 7 on the other one. Y'all can't back your products up. At the end of the day, y'all trash. That's what you are. We're done here. I never seen anything so funny in my life. This Joker in there snatching freaking images. This is where the image came from. This is who it belongs to. Good tasting and loving it. But it's Crow Screen Paint Products. So which one is the Crow? Is it the hot chili pepper mix right here, or is it your screen paint mix? I don't know which one. I'm confused. Man, I'm gonna ask you a question. When I buy that screen paint, do I get a free container of this? Can I get some of that pop? Can I get some of that? Does it come with that? By any chance? Because I'm seeing it here. I'm expecting it to come with that screen paint. Yeah, right. Stop stealing people's work at the end of the day, you freaking thief. Sat there and stole that off somebody else's freaking page. This is not even you on the Frankenstein. Really, that's not even yours, man. That's pathetic. That is absolutely pathetic. Partay sat there and said, well, you know, he's never had our product. Yeah, we would have had your product if you weren't a coward and you kept canceling orders. We would have had your product over here. But you were too afraid, so you kept canceling out. Canceling every little thing. Oh, man. I can back my products up, gentlemen. I'm going to ask you a question. Where's your test page at? I mean, you sit up there and say, oh, your test page is fake. Well, I put challenges on my test pages. All of them. Every demonstration we do got a challenge on it. If you feel that any of my demonstrations are fake, feel free to duplicate all of them. Well, you can't do that, can you? I don't think you could. Look at this. This is all. I'm done. I got to save this right here. They literally took this off freaking Google. Hey, Crow, you want to take this one too? We got this one over here. Let me see what other they got on here. Oh, that's a nice one. Here's a good one for you. Let's see what else on here. All right, somebody got the Cedar collection on here. You might want to say this, Jamie. You got more pictures you can collect for Google. Let's see if we can find some nice pictures on screen paint for your screen paint so they look good on your page since you're still in Google Images. That's about 4K. Let's put this over here. Oh man, you could take these and put these on your website. People will actually think this came from your screen paint. How about you take one of these right here? Let's go with hot chili peppers. There you go. You can take any one of these. You like chili peppers, right? You want to show how amazing your product. So the reason why we knew from the door that it didn't look right, number one, it was too close. It's like if you look for projectors when you go to eBay, they got the projector. It just looks too new. The background's super bright white. You can tell that they basically snatched it off freaking Google, and they're basically just loading it up to make it sound like they actually had that product. See, it looks something like this. I forgot you can do these are protected. Do 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 do. Well, you see what Jamie's doing, how he's ranting on my page right now. He's upset because he got busted today. He got busted pretty good today. Yeah, 10 hours. I'll take 10 hours out. Anytime. I'll take 10 hours out. That means basically I can stop some customer at the end of the day getting ripped off by you guys. It's worth 10 hours for me. That literally, the fact that I had to put 10 hours in this to show how dirty you guys are at the end of the day is the reason why people shouldn't touch you at the end of the day. So don't worry about it. It won't be no more sales for you for 2023, but some of you are going to lose some of that freedom, and you definitely are going broke when I get done with you. You're definitely going to go broke. I guarantee you. I'm going to be in and out of court all this summer. You will be seeing my face quite often. And remind you, after I drag you to court the first time, the next time you see my face again in court, you're going to be like, oh, gee whiz, I got to get out of this freaking nonsense. I know you're going to want to apologize, but it's not going to work. I told you, once we get this process rolling, it's rolling. That's it. It's going to be like, geez. Every time you see my face, remember, you will lose money that day when you see me. But it was worth it. It was worth it. We do this on top of that because, like I said, these people need to be exposed at the end of the day. This is why it's the same individual who got upset and got angry with me because I told customers that they need to go in and ask them to go in and test their products, put their products against screen paint products, to do these tests at the end of the day. And they don't want to do these tests because they're going to match house paint. And you've seen Partay. Partay got up there and just lied his behind off by sitting there saying certain things. And the video is right there on his page. Right on his page. I think I should make a copy of that because I think he's going to get rid of that video. Crow got all of his Frankenstein videos disappear. All of them. He got rid of all of them. We tried to look for him. We couldn't find them. Let's see what Crow's in here crying about. Let's go see how many messages he sent us. Gee whiz, look. Crow is really upset. 24 messages. The 24 messages. Look at that. Jamie is just really upset. Look at that. Look at that. Look. This is all Jamie. Angry, mad, frustrated, angry because he got exposed. Next time, you learn a valuable lesson. Next time, don't go over to Google. Don't steal images. Put those images on your website and try to fool and fake customers into believing that screen paint's doing that. You know better than that. You shouldn't have done that. Honestly, all jokes aside, he knows, but he shouldn't have done that. That was wrong. Because you're going to have customers come in and see that, and you're lying to them at the end of the day. You guys are just as worse as those knockoff fake projectors. Partay comes in there and talks about something, and right there in the video, you can see where he basically painted the screen in different colors. You guys lie so much, it's not even funny. But Jamie, most of all, you know better. That was wrong. That was really dirty. That's very dirty. I don't know which is dirty, man. The fact that you're matching house paints and you're still selling them on your website, or now you're snatching Google images now. That's what you're doing? Dude, you got a freaking 4K projector. You got a 4K P2 ultra short throw projector, and you have to stoop to stealing pictures or taking pictures off Google to try to convince people that your product looks decent? That's what you got to do? That's pretty desperate. Think about that. That's really desperate. Sales must not be good. Sales have got to be extremely bad if you're doing stuff like this. I'm not going to Google and taking any pictures for what? They must be bad if you got to convince people at the end of the day that you're doing all this damage and you're taking images from Google. That's a at least I can say Partay does some slimy stuff and he can't back his products up because he lies a lot. But good gracious, that's bad. It's really, 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 really bad. That's bad. Yeah, well, now you know. I looked at it when I first looked at it, I was like, man, that's kind of weird. I was like, there's no way in the world, because the camera was so close to the screen, like I've seen that word somewhere before. And when I hit that back button, boom, it popped up. That's what popped up. Gee whiz. Jamie. That is just really messed up, buddy. Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you do that to yourself? Why? Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you do that to yourself? Back button. Boom! That's mine. That's right. Any one of these pictures that pop up, thousands and thousands of pictures. Why would I need to take something from Google at the end of the day? Why? I can back my work up. That's why I don't got to steal from Google. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to put a post up called Stealing from Google. The Jamie story. How desperate is he to sell his screen paint products that he would basically steal, plagiarize, fool his customers into believing that they're getting those images when they're nothing more than images from Google. Man, Jamie, that's a shame, man. That's a shame. Let me hit the back button on this and see what comes up. Boom, 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 boom. Mine belongs to me. That's right. Boom, 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 boom. We don't have to do that. See that, Jamie? How beautiful that image looks. We ain't gotta steal from Google, Jamie. We ain't gotta steal from Google. We don't do that. We don't steal from Google. We ain't gotta do fake pictures. At the end of the day, you calling everybody fakes and scams and liars, and here you are stealing images from Google. Damn, Jamie, taking pictures from Google, claiming it as his own. You know that picture with the moon on it, that's been on Frankenstein. That Frankenstein image has been up for a while. I mean, about a year or so. Let me see what we got. Boom! Martin! Oh man, I go through this whole row if I want to. Let's go through this whole row. What we got? It's 1,000 pictures. I'm not going through this whole row. It's craziness. Let's see if it's mine. Boom, Martin! Jamie, wish you could do that, can't you? You can do that. Some of your pictures will do that, but it just comes down to show, like, why would you do that? Why would you take that image and claim it to be from your own image? Are you that desperate for sales? Are you really that desperate for sales? That you're willing to do stuff like that? That's beyond cutting corners. That is beyond cutting corners. Beyond cutting corners. Is it mine? Is it mine? Boom! This is mine. Look, man, this is what I do, Jamie. I'm going to tell you how to do it. You see all these pictures we have here? For every video that I do, that's what it comes up on Google every time. On every picture that I do, this is what I do. I go in and I take pictures. I do my videos and I take my pictures. I'm giving you some advice. I take my pictures, I do my videos, fully lit environment, which you should be doing, not in the dark, okay? And I take my pictures. That's what I do. Now, once I take my pictures, the same pictures that I show, I do videos of. So basically, if these videos pop up, they can click it and they can go right to the videos and they're good to go right there. You know what I mean? That's how it's right there. Just want to let you know. Okay? As you know, that's how we do it over here. No, don't take Google pictures. No, I don't do that. No, period. Okay. I want to know. Okay. I gotta stop. I'm tired. I gotta get some rest. I'm done. I'm gonna go jump in VR for a little bit, have some fun, kill some zombies. I gotta go, people. That's it. Basically about it. Look, buy. All jokes aside, just be careful when you buy. And when you buy, customers, ask us. Go and check our website. Research us at the end of the day. And compare us to everybody else. And Jamie, I do appreciate you and Partay calling us scammers at the end of the day, because that means customers are going to come by, look at my site, and compare my website to yours. And you'll see who the real scammers are. And Partay, gee whiz, lie, tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Oh shoot, what's that song? I like that song too. No, Hot Peppers. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. I think I got it right. Here we go.
Is there any circumstance where terror comes in when a child
I'll put a couple minutes of it.
I want this to be real.
You get my song? Then I gotta do all this? Switch it up. You guys have been. I'm done. Yeah, that's what you guys deserve. That bunch of liars at the end of the day, man. Get out of the industry. Back it up or pack it up. All right, I'm done. I gotta go. Good work.